Greetings everyone, this is Lodrik again, and this is the game War in the Pacific Advanced Edition, and today we will return to the match against Dojo. Today we will check the turn of 11th and 12th March 1942, so at the end it's turn 48. There are still at least some of Dojo's submarine hunter or submarine groups all around Rabul, but with not much success so far. Okay. Again, no luck for Dojo, or no success. This is Mark 14 torpedo, but not sure if we can do something. No, looks not. So this is more or less an invasion fleet, now already on the way back to Rabul. We finished the unloading of units and supplies and will normally now retreat to Rabul, fix some damage, and then maybe prepare for the next strike against Suva with the battleship fleet. Okay. Yeah, the attack on the AM failed. So this is a open sea going minesweeper. They also have some limited anti-submarine equipment, but no impact for our submarine, so a lot of noise for nothing at the end. Okay, something just sunk, some ally ship. Okay. So not really much activity at night, at least some sub-hunter stuff, but no change in the balance of power. No ship gets sunk or at least damaged by the submarines. And this is 1 point short range patrol ships. But with no success. At the end, the commander of the submarine makes the decision that this is a waste of torpedoes to attack this 1 point very short range patrol craft. And more submarine activity. But we are here in deep water, so I don't expect much. No, nothing happened. Okay. And again. Nothing. I cannot find and destroy or at least damage Dojo submarines, and Dojo sub hunter are also not really successful so far. It's I mean, so far I would say that I can accept my anti-submarine tactics in warfare. Maybe I don't sunk too much of his submarines and really, yeah. But I mean, with Air Force, yeah, but not with my surface fleet. This is still hard. But I think around Singapore and Java, at least I had some damaged submarines. And most importantly, the Allies had nearly no success with their own submarines. And I think this is more important. Not how much I can sink with my submarines, but how high are my own losses. And so far I think Dojo only sunk some patrol ships or sub chasers and maybe some cargo ships, but not really. I think most of my cargo ships is sunk by coast batteries at the beginning of the war. So this very devastating submarine campaign the Allies starts in, I would say, in mid of 42 or end of 42 latest. So far Dojo cannot repeat this success, what in reality happened. But of course we are now in the beginning of 42, so at that time I think also the Japanese Navy not suffer too much losses by submarines. This air war in China is nothing special, more or less always bomb every enemy unit is nearby at least once per day. And here in Medan, the Dutch forces, they have no real good cover, so it's easy to pin them down and really let them suffer. Here in this area is much more complicated. There's always this mountain area, hard to find and locate the target and get a hit on it. Oh, pump failure. This was a cargo ship from last turn, Dojo's Dutch submarine. Last time one of Dojo's Dutch submarines scored a torpedo hit on my cargo ship. But now we are in the port, so I don't do major flooding. Oh, okay. So at the end, we arrived at the port, but it was a little too late. Piddly. So I must say, success for Dojo. After very many days of nearly no losses at all, especially against my cargo, line. Dojo score a hit. But I think the units on the ship are already departure, or let's say unload from the ship. So we really only lost maybe, or I lost only the ship, but maybe not really the unit, the army. Okay, this is now the beginning of the Burma campaign. The first battle. I mean, maybe I took these bases here. These are also normally belonging to Burma, but this is now the real first official, I think, battle for Burma. And these 3 units are nothing to stop me. Not sure why Dojo keeps them here. So from my 2,500 attack value by dropping to 1,700, this is maybe okay. What is a little strange is that the Dojo's attack value from 106 drops to 5. The unit again had already a high negative fatigue factor. But I'm not so sure, always these factors are always a little strange, so I don't really trust them too much. Most importantly is all these units are broken, destroyed, and there's not more much left from this. And one unit give up, no, 2 gets destroyed, so only 1 escaped. Okay. This was an easy victory against the British or Burma units. Here's the same. Again. Yeah. This unit have no fighting ability more left. Most is destroyed, only very little is disabled. And this is more or less I try to pin down Dojo's army group. The biggest problem is the terrain. If it's open field like here in the north, I can maybe attack even if the attack value is here only 1-1 and not even 1-1, because Dojo have nearly 400 and I have only roughly over 300. So in this situation the Chinese units are too strong. I mean, if I attack them I can maybe after 3-4 battles maybe win, maybe, but it will completely burn out my division. So I better try to get reinforcements in the hex and then have a easy victory with very light losses. And but this needs some time, so I use now the bombardment attacks simply to force Dojo to keep in combat mode, that he cannot run away. This is the main purpose. It will not really destroy anything. Maybe it will keep the fatigue of the Chinese units up, but this is the best case. So no activity at night. Tja. I still waiting normally for any activity from Dojo. Anything what will surprise me. But so far nothing. Oh. So I think this was just my first carrier fleet gets detected by Dojo. So maybe it's not more possible to make a surprise strike against Suga. So Dojo also not for over 1 month, I think at least. No activity more in China with any air force from the Chinese side. I completely dominate the skies here. Make it more easy for me to maneuver my units, my armies. Force Dojo from one battle to the next battle, always in the favor of the Japanese army. Okay, at least here's some activity from Dojo. So this is from Batavia, some B-25. They're trying again to attack a high value ship. And they fail again. Okay, this is now from Rangoon, so you can see Dojo at least use something to make a counter strike, but because this is a full army with all additional equipment, also with a lot of mobile anti-aircraft stuff, so we have a rough. I mean, at least we can kill one bomber immediately and one other gets damaged, even if it's only 2 hexes away. That is his bomber strike was simply too small to really have an impact against such a big army unit. So and additionally our units was in combat modus and we already own the base, so it is then always not so easy to score the hits on the army unit. Yeah, it was already the second day, and then we get one more anti-submarine activity, but nothing. These are already the better one, but Japanese sub hunter groups are still really not the best. Okay, one more small island pickup. And here, this is the last base I like to take it only to make sure that Dojo's broken units have no base they can return. It is also nearby, it's easy pick up, have the base under control and fine. Again, the same situation. Only force Dojo to walk slow so that I have enough time to bring reinforcements. Okay, airfield of Xi'an is now also normally combat ready. With a size of 7, I think I don't need really much more. So, at the end, this was again a more quiet turn with not much activity on both sides. And the air losses are very small. This is a flag. We killed the Dojo's bomber, and the rest is very light only. To lose a Catalina is always good for me, but I mean at the same time I lose a Betty, so this is anything more or less equal. Dojo lost also one of his Dutch scout planes. Okay. And this is a Hudson we killed by flag. So the other one more or less returned to base and get fixed. But 4-2 is nothing. So no one lost really anything. I lost no pilot, no wounded, no killed, nothing. Okay, and ship sunk. So we lost this cargo ship normally. Yeah. So we lost a very high. This is a high value cargo ship. It's a little pity because only one torpedo hit so near to the base. But yeah, pity, but can happen. And I have still so much cargo capacity that it have normally no real impact. What else? What else? Because we had not much activity, so I'm not sure what I can really discuss or explain. This is this battle here. This is this one support division, but it's not strong enough to take the battle directly because this is, I think this is triple defense, if I remember. Yeah. So triple defense bonus. Forest rough. This is his broken units. I think there's not more much. Even if I cannot catch them, I will try to catch them, but maybe they will escape. I can use my air force to slow them down and maybe even increase their broken and destroyed units, but it will not have really any impact. Here we can, I move here the 23rd Army source to at the end meet in Wuzhou and take the city. It is not really the points are not really important for this base, but it's have 61 light industry. Not a big deal for the Japanese, but if you can make sure that the Chinese don't have access to this industry, it will, I think, simply hinder the Chinese war effort in the long run. What else here? Oh yeah. So I choose to take all my units to the base directly first. But looks like the base is empty. So I will take this base. And then I try to, as soon as possible, normally to continue my strike on Lenshow. Because this is really the critical point to take this base. Firstly, it will open more or less opportunity to bring my second Mongolian army here over the river, because there's a river crossing. And we have here 16 Chinese units, so this is a strong point from Dojo. Dojo knows that he cannot afford to lose this city. But at the same time, I must take the city to break Dojo's position here in this area. And here I catch up again already. Next base, next battle, next victory next time. So we also arrive in the hex next turn. So next turn we arrive at the hex. So next turn we can start the battle here. Nothing more to say here. Anything else? I think this is first okay. So I took the base. We have still roughly 2,500 attack value. But I have to keep here one unit. I think something what is small, weak, not too strong. And then continue the attack. I don't want to really wait here now. I want to normally up to end of the month I hope to take Rangoon. And maybe end of April finish all operations in Rangoon. I must only see if I start some air operations here in the future, because Dojo tried to attack me last time but not with much success. But maybe I will use some of my air wings to make some cap over my units. Because if I fly over my units in my base and then my pilots or my airplane gets shut down, then the pilots often can return to the pool. And if Dojo come and I fight here, then Dojo will lose not only his airframe, but because up to now often he only used the airframe but not many pilots. But if we fight over Japanese ground, then of course it will be more painful and costly for Dojo to use his air force. So in Medan we arrive with a second Navy Guard unit, so I have now an attack value of 100. This is still a little tired. They're both the same more or less. But this is the fatigue can normally not be over 30. Disruption is also better less than 10. So I'm not sure, maybe I will wait for one turn and let them rest a little more, or attack already. We will see. There's a lot of oil here, 211 oil and 201 refinery. So it's normally important to take the base, also some resources. But we will see how damaged the base is later on. I think we finished the unloading. Yeah. Now the unloading is over. Means I can normally rebuild the unit. They must only have the same operation modus. So I bring them all in the same modus, then I say rebuild, and then we can see that everything is fine. Only one infantry squad is disabled, but this is normally not so important. So I can prepare my units and move up, and then I will move up to this base. At the same time I can rest here, but normally there's nothing to rest because this unit is already at max power, even overpowered. yeah, that we can try to take the base of Panelberg. So we must walk here up, and this is this road is okay, but 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns, 5 turns, we arrive here maybe, and then 6, 7 turns we can start the Battle of Panelberg. And here, oh, okay. So the 14th Army arrived already in Surabaya with roughly 800 attack value, not too much. And we know that the Dojo have here 13 units, so equally power maybe. I don't get information, I don't know, for some reason the recon was not so good. I think I must start some more recon flights to get information here. I don't know if the rest is still unloading. Oh, okay, finish unloading, so we can normally turn back and or wait here, because I don't know if I have any other forces ready. I have here some base forces for construction, and here also only construction units. Tarakan, the construction is normally finished. I can bring them now, depending. I think I will take, I keep my construction units here, and I first take Surabaya and see how damaged the base is, and then I will also ship my construction units from Tarakan, and later on from Balikpapan to Surabaya. Here's still something under construction, but not more much. So I must only take the airfield to level 5, then I have here unlimited supply and fuel shortage. Or storage capacity, but here's only some pickup, nothing really crazy. Here in Java, like I said before already, I try to take Surabaya first, get rid of this unit, and after I clean the east side of the island, I will focus for the west side. Here is normally no activity. Yeah. So my landing was successful. I think normally next time I can take the base. And also there was a Australian unit here in this one of these 2 hexes. But our Air Force already get rid of them. So I think they are now broken because I don't see them more. But here are still 6,000 euro, 6,000 units. Here is 1 unit. Okay. But looks so far okay. I have to reorganize my forces here, and I think also Rabul is still okay in supplies and their fuel, but I must maybe transport a little more fuel. Turk is very low on fuel, I would say, and also not have enough supply capacity left, but it's getting harder and harder to organize enough supplies everywhere. Okay, so this is now maybe interesting. This is the first carrier fleet division, and yeah, I can see that Dojo have normally pretty good detection, but it's thunderstorm, so I must see what I do now with my Air Force. I have still the option to go more or less east and attack in Paro. I have the option to go southwest and attack Nomaya, or maybe go a little more risky option, because here's a task force. Not sure where they won't go. Normally they won't go southeast, so in this direction. So maybe if I want to attack this base force, I maybe go here southeast and try to follow this task force and be a little faster. Well, we will see. Yeah, Submarines was not so. I mean, we had activity, but we had no kill on our side so far. So a little time to wait and time to rest. I think if we think else, not really. These are only ships going back to Manila because Manila had now not more. Now are really empty more or less. This is the last piece of the 14th Army, but maybe I keep it here because they must return soon and it's only a tech value of 21. This is more or less normally only a block force. Normally there's not much to say because it was not so much activity. Yeah. Here in the, only to explain this, I keep here a lot of ships on standby only to make sure that there's no enemy submarine. I mean, with very, or let's say very likely that there's no enemy submarines in this hexes with my units. At the same time, I try to, I think I only forgot to send this, but I think I will meet up with this task force. There's a task force coming. Normally they had always destroyer convoy, but for some reason these units have no destroyer convoy. This is of course not the best, especially if I know that there are here Dutch submarines always around. Oh, yeah, not more much to say. This was a quiet turn with not too much activity. I don't know, next turn? I think next turn is already mid of the month, so I will have additional information about tracker software, supply situation, A&D stuff. So I keep it a little short this time. And still I hope that everyone had some fun and learned something. And I hope everyone can stay safe. See you again. Take care. Bye bye.